In the meantime, the presidential campaign season continues. There's some new analysis this morning of Joe Biden's tax plan and who would fit the bill. Robert Frank joins us right now. He has more of the details. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Becky. Well, Biden's plan would raise taxes by $4 trillion over a decade, with most of that paid by high earners and companies. That's according to a new study from the Tax Policy Center. Now, Biden would hike tax revenues by 8% in total. Every income group would see a tax increase. The middle class would see an increase of about 0.4%. But the top, they would see by far the biggest hike. The one percenters would see an average tax increase of about $300,000 a year, and their tax rate would jump by 12% to 42%. Now, the top 0.1%, those are the people making more than $3.6 million a year, they would see their tax rate jump by 16% to 47%. Now, nearly 3/4 of the increase in taxes under his whole plan would be paid by the top 1%ers, and the bottom 90% of Americans there would bear less than 7% of the total cost. Now, Biden's plan calls for rolling back the Trump tax cuts, bringing the corporate rate up to 28% from the current 21%, and he would tax capital gains the same as ordinary income for those who make more than $1 million a year. That means the capital gains tax, which is the most important for investors, would go from 20% to 39.6%, and he would apply the payroll tax to income over $400,000. Now, his plan is less than a quarter of the cost of Bernie Sanders' plan. Sanders' plan would total more than $17 trillion over a decade. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, watching a lot of the predicted stuff.
What's it say this morning, Joe? This
morning, Trump re-election is at about 50 or 51 cents, and Biden is about 48 cents. That's pretty close. The generic, even though we probably
and where is Sanders now?
Sanders is so down. I mean, for Michigan, they're like, he's talking about maybe winning Michigan, 92 cents for Biden in Michigan, which is today. And I think he's single digits for the nomination at this point. But for generic 2020, who wins, Republican or Democrat, that flipped yesterday to 53 cents Democrat, 48 or 49 Republican. Now it's back 51.50, something like that. So it's all coronavirus. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you wonder how that's going to shape the primaries and the election. And, you know, the tax thing is, if you start to have a true economic slowdown, you're going to see a decrease in tax revenues at the state and federal level. And what will that do to how they're going to make that up? Are they going to raise taxes?
I've seen certain pundits call it, on the left, they're trying to call it the Trump virus, and this is Katrina, things like that. So they're working overtime on trying to work it. But, that's the world.
Hey, Robert, back to Biden for a second.
Yeah.
Is there an estate tax involved in that?
The estate tax is not part of his plan, his official plan, but he's clearly going to be looking at that.
And on the capital gains over $1 million, that's marginal or no?
That is, so that would be equal to the marginal tax rate. Right now it's 20%. It goes up to 39.6%. So they would be equal for the first time since the 1980s.